My name is Saye Jr. and this is my final assessment for Art205 Digital Media Session 2. In this video, I will be explaining two important topics in CSS. One is the CSS basics and then the box model. I will define the concepts, demonstrate how they work with real code example, highlight common mistakes, and finish with a short summary. So we'll start with the CSS basics. First, let's talk about CSS basics. CSS stands for Cascading Style Sheet. It is used to style and format HTML elements. The best syntax includes the CSS selector, the properties, and the values. So for example, here is the basic rules within the code. Okay, I generated some HTML code for us to work with, and I guess we all are familiar with HTML. So let's just begin quick on the CSS basics. So let's start with this example. So we change the background color to blue, and then everywhere there is a paragraph, because we target the paragraph in general, you can remember. So everywhere there is a p tag, the background color will be blue. And you don't want it to be that often. You want, let's say, to target only the first one, the CSS thing for Cascading Style Sheet, and then all the other one thing to blue. You don't want that. So that's where the selectors come in. So let's try this instead and give the p a class. This is a class of blue. Oh, sorry. So we are already given blue as the class name for the first paragraph. So okay, we'll forget the equal. Sorry. Okay, so back again, something I want to mention. There are two selectors you can use to trigger an HTML element and use it within CSS. Let's say to style it. And these are the class selector and the RD selectors. So we are using the class selector here, and when you are using the class selector, you have to use dot at the start to let the browser know that you are using a class selector. And then when you are using the RD selector, you have to use the hash. So we are using a class selector like in our situation now. So our class name is blue. So we say dot BLUE dot blue, and only the first paragraph that have the class name of blue is having the starting, as you can see. So the first paragraph background color is blue, and that is what we want. So you can even use it as an RD selector. So let's change the class to RD. It won't change except you use this, like the hash. I told you about this. So you see, now everything is working properly fine. Okay, now I think I can assume that we all have a basic understanding on the CSS selectors. So let's use another CSS property to increase the font size of all the paragraphs within our website, because I think they are a little small. So let's use the P to target all the paragraph and then give a font size of, let's say, 40 pixels, and then everything changed. I think it's very decent now. So that is how to increase the font size within CSS. So if you want to increase the text size, you just say font size, and then it depends on how larger you want it. Like in my situation, I choose 40 pixels. And then you can even make a font way bold, like you can do within the Microsoft Word. So let's do this. Font weight, and let's say BOLD, bold. As you can see, the text is bold. So that is how to make a text bold within CSS. So let's use another properties. Like I said, I think we want to change the text color, like a black text color with a blue background. I think it look awful. And firstly, the text, even the text look awful. So let's change this to at least 20 pixels. 20. Okay, I think it looks decent now. And we talk about changing the text color at least to something representing. So we just use color instead. So as long as you are saying color, as long as you say color, the browser already know that you are speaking on behalf of the text or you're speaking directly to the text. So C-O-L-O-R. So color, let's say the color you got white. So now I think this look decent. Like, oh, the other text disappears. So I think we'll have to change it. And then just place it in here. Okay, so now as you can see, the first text changed. And don't let it confuse you. It's because we are using the class letter blue and is referenced directly to a p tag. So that p tag is the one having the text color of white. So that's why you see only the text in white. So don't let it confuse you. So I think that is it for the CSS basics. And now I hope you all understood everything I just demonstrated. And then now I'm moving to the CSS box model. So let's go. Okay, everyone, welcome to CSS box model. So let's begin. Firstly, let's talk about what is box model. So in CSS, everything you see on the web page is treated like a box. Whether it is a heading, a paragraph, or a button, they are all boxes. And every box has full layout that control how it looks and fit on the page. So let's talk about the full layouts. Let's talk about the content firstly. Like all the stuff within a box. Like you see in the example here, let me highlight it. Like the paragraph, I just highlighted it, and this is a box. The text within that p tag, that is the content. So let us say the p tag is the box. That is what I mean exactly. So the p tag is the box. So for that box to be displayed, first they invisible. So for it to be displayed, you have to use the border. So border is the edge or line around the element. So let's demonstrate some for you to see. Let's say the p tag and then the border. They give a full pixel solid black. Okay, you see, full pixel solid black. So now I think you all can see. So now everything that is displaying to us is a box. The first level we were talking, I think maybe you wasn't really understanding it. So now you can see that this is a box. It's within a box with a black border. So that is border within CSS. And let's talk about padding. Like our content look tight within a box, and then it needs some space. That's where padding come in. When we talk about padding, padding is the spaces within the box. So let's do this. I give it at least, let's see, 15 pixels. Okay, you can see. I think now it is displaying just a very freely, like the spaces around it, and then it is not too tight with the borders. So that is padding within CSS. So border is the sharp edges around the box, and then padding is the space within the box. I hope we all get it. And let's talk about margin. Margin is the space around the box. So like if you are working on a, let's say, a big website project, you might have, let's say, a lot of content within the page, and then you want to, let's say, give a space away from another content. So you have to use the margin. And there are full type of margin, which are the margin left, the margin right, the margin bottom, and the margin top. And it is the same as padding and the same as border, but because of the time, I will just go with I will go with margin, and then I will display the top, the bottom, the bottom, and then the right and the left. So let's go ahead. So let's see the margin left because our content is hishing on the wall. So let's dress it a bit to the right. So margin left, let's give it 40 pixel. Let's see. Okay, you see? It take a bit of space. So maybe you don't see it, so let me increase it to 400. And then, okay, 400. So now you can see the content. So it is 400 pixels away from the left. That's what we just did. So that is margin left we just used. So we are 400 pixels away from the left. And then you can use it the other way around. So let's do this instead. Let's use the right. Use the right. Okay, you see? So it worked the other way around. And we can use the top. Let's say 20 pixels will be okay. Okay, so you can see our content dress a little away from the top. So that's how margin top works. So as long as you understand the top, you will understand the bottom, and as long as you understand the right, you will understand the left. So that's just how it goes. And then let's do another example with the button. So I think our button is, let's say our content is tight within the button, which this is also a button. So at least let's create spaces within a box. So let's go ahead. So we target the button, and then give it a padding of at least 30 pixels. I think this is okay. Okay, as you can see, and then let's dress our content a bit from the left. Get rid of these 400 pixels. Okay, so our content is 400 pixels away from the left. So that is CSS box model. So that is just how it works. So like I will go on the scenario again, or the clear definition. I said the border is the line around the box, and then the padding is the spaces within the box. As you can see here, look at this highlighted stuff. This is a box. Look at the free spaces around it. It was all created by padding, and I think you all following the example. So margin right, like we use, so we are 400 pixels away from the right, and then the margin top we are 20 pixels. Pixels away from the top, and then we came to the button again and created 30 pixels of space within the button, and then we dressed the button 400 pixels away from the left. So I think we all understand CSS box model very well. So I think it has been a wonderful semester.